All right, man, we back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate everybody for checking in. And let's talk about Magic Johnson. He was on First Take. I read the article and seen the video. He says that Michael Jordan is still the GOAT over LeBron and said LeBron has to get 5 championships just to be able to be in the conversation. Matter of fact, guess what? I'll be talking about the LeBron-Michael Jordan GOAT debate. Really, it ain't even LeBron and Michael Jordan. You got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell. We talk about the GOAT debate overall today live. I'll pick a time and everybody can tap in. But first, let's talk about him illegally trying to recruit Luka Dončić and saying that, well, it's not illegal because he's no longer with the general manager of the Lakers, but he says that he tried to recruit Luka on First Take. So let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. I remember when that was an actual really good sports show when it was called Coach Pizza. I used to like Dana and everybody else on there. The other white guy on there, he got accused of doing some things to some employees there. I mean, you should look that up. It's crazy, but yeah, you know, at the end of the day, it's just like how much help do you need? Seriously, how much help do you need at the Lakers? You need Luka, you need AD, you need LeBron, you need a Kawhi LeBron. Like, it's just getting crazy. And at some point, it got to be the death of super teams. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on is a lot of these executives that played back in the day when you had to get it how you live, like Magic and, you know, Jerry West, and a lot of these dudes are really promoting for super teams. Can we get back to the NBA balance being equal? And people forgot LeBron popularized super teams. It wasn't KG and Ray Allen and them, you know, joining together. That was at the end of the day. That was at the end of the day run to begin with. But my whole issue is, can we just get back to regular basketball? You know, can we get back to everybody spread it out and the best team win? Super team thing is getting super old. But you know how Magic feel. He wanted to get Luka. I'm not mad at him for trying. But really, what Luka do and what LeBron do is a conflict of interest. They both need the ball in their hand. LeBron would just turn Luka into a spot-up shooter. You know, which I think Luka would be one of the better spot-up shooters that we've seen. But Luka's okay in Dallas. He got a great owner in Mark Cuban. Do I have some questions, excuse me, about Mark Cuban and some of the things he said and done in the past? Yeah. But Mark Cuban is a 62-year-old white man. You know, appreciate him for helping Delonte West, and especially what he did to Lamar Odom. If you didn't see that, you need to look that up. But Luka ain't leaving Dallas. Mark Cuban is one of the few owners of smaller market teams, and Dallas is really not a small city, but I'm just saying a smaller market compared to LA and Boston that will spend money and try to win. Now, he did bitch and cry and stop the Chris Paul trade to LA, but at the end of the day, in hindsight, I know he looked stupid. Him and the dude that owned Cleveland Cavaliers, Dan Gilbert, they look stupid. Because now the NBA is just nothing but super teams. You deny Chris Paul the opportunity to do what LeBron and Dwayne and all of them did, and Kawhi, Paul George. So, like I said before, man, I just feel that Luke ain't going there, but you know how it is. You know, these old dudes is just the ones that's really, you know, that's really popularizing this weak stuff. You know what I'm saying? All it would take is Jordan to come out and say, forget this, I ain't need no super team. And everybody want to say, oh, Jordan had Pippen, Jordan had Pippen, Jordan had Pippen. Nigga, that's Pippen. LeBron had AD, Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Shane Battier, Kyrie. Oh, you can just keep going on. Kevin Love. Like, how much help do we need? Like, they want to glorify Pippen. Pippen was a great player. But Pippen wasn't the greatest player of all time. It wasn't like it was Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon. But we say that for later. But, you know, Magic says, well, LeBron has to at least get 5 to be in the conversation. Like, nigga, Kareem got 6 NBA MVPs. He got 6 titles. LeBron is chasing Kareem. So when did he become better than Kareem? If it's about rings, Bill Russell got 11 of them. And he stopped one of the most dominant players in history, Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain and Bo Jackson is 2 of the greatest athletes ever. Go look up their measurables. That motherfucker Wilt had a 50-inch vertical at 7 foot. 8 feet wingspan or whatever it is. They said he ran a 4.4, outlifted Arnold Schwarzenegger without roids. Think about that for a minute. And what grinds my nerves is people trying to talk about LeBron the greatest, but they not even old enough to remember Michael Jordan playing. I grew up during that era. So how am I arguing with somebody that's born in 96, 94, 99, 2000? Like, you don't even have an opinion. Your opinion is chalk. So when people try to come up and say, well, LeBron, you wouldn't even witness Jordan at all. Well, Jordan came up. Jordan team was terrible. The Bulls don't have history before Jordan, and they don't have no history after Jordan. That's a fact. But we say that later. But the whole championship thing, it depends on what you mean by GOAT. If you mean accolades, then you're really probably looking at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If you're looking at who transcended the sport and took the sport to another level, then you're really talking about Magic Bird and LeBron James. Magic Bird and Michael Jordan. Okay, that's a fact. If you're talking about skills, then you're talking about a lot of guys: Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird. You talking about skills? It's a lot of guys. If you're just talking about attributes, player for player, you say, well, LeBron is big, he's strong. You know what I'm saying? You want to say he a better passer than Jordan? Okay, cool. When Jordan passed the ball, niggas made the shots because they didn't want to get punched. But if you talking about attributes and all those combined, Mike had better handles. Mike was a better defensive player. Look up the stats. He won Defensive Player of the Year. He was a better dunker than LeBron. He was a better dunker. He won dunk contests and competed in multiple. He was a better mid-range shooter. He had a better post game. You want to say LeBron rebounded better? I don't have the statistics, but we can give it to him. You want to say he shot the three better? Mike didn't have to shoot the three back in the day. That's the difference. You want to say he shoot? That's cool. You want to say three-point shooting, assists, passing the ball, and rebounds? That's it. You talking about dunking, handles, defense, and clutchness? It's Jordan. Jordan better on. People ignore the defensive side of the ball. How can you be the greatest if you ain't dominating defensively? LeBron not the greatest. Who is LeBron locked down for real? He locked down. He known for locking down Derrick Rose. So you talking about skills? He not the most skillful player because he not even a great two-way player. He's an okay defender at his best. He good. We talking about Hakeem, Tim Duncan. All the guys, you know what I'm saying? And you can make a case, Scottie Pippen is one of the greatest the perimeter defenders of all time. Dennis Rodman is the greatest all-around defender of all time, in my opinion. I think Pippen is the greatest perimeter defender of all time. So how you going to have a GOAT debate when your GOAT is not even nowhere near on the defensive side of the ball? That's a fact. Basketball ain't all about offense. Two ways. Jordan dominated two ways. He got more MVPs. He got more rings if you want to go there. He won Defensive Player of the Year. And him and Hakeem Olajuwon, I give it to Hakeem. Hakeem had the greatest individual year. He win, I think, the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP. He won all that in 1 year. What made his better than Jordan? See, y'all, most people don't know this. What made his year better than Jordan? Because he won a championship. But Jordan won MVP, scoring champ, All-Star MVP, dunk contest champion of the year. Did I say Defensive Player of the Year, scoring title? He won all that in one season. He just didn't win the championship, but that's what made Kareem's better. It's only three. I think it's only three people that's won Defensive Player of the Year and MVP in the same season, and that's Giannis, Hakeem, and Michael Jordan. But Hakeem's season was better because Hakeem won the championship and Finals MVP. So when people talking about the greatest players, you talking about everything put together. Really, you can make a case that LeBron ain't even top 10. He barely 10. Remember, Hakeem Olajuwon won his first championship without another All-Star. And he got another All-Star the next year with an old Clyde Drexler. See, what the problem is, a lot of people get the right to talk basketball, but don't go back and learn the history. You know, I know all about all the great basketball players, even the subpar guys that people, or the really good guys that people forget about. The Steve Smith, shout out to the Persian Doughboys in Detroit. You could talk about one of my favorites, go back and watch, and I went back and watched, he was one of my favorite players, Pete Maravich, George Mikan. You know, you go back to Jerry West, you can go back to a lot of guys that people forget about. Mookie Blaylock. I remember Tom Gugliotta before the knee injury. You know what I'm saying? I could just go back and there was some really good guys. Mark Price, Tom Chambers, Kevin Johnson. It's just a really really good guys. Before the knee injury, Antonio McDyess might have been the best player in the league damn near. But a lot of people just remember him playing with the Pistons and the Spurs But before the injury, McDyess was that nigga out of Alabama with Denver. Nate Tiny Archibald, Walt Frazier, not Clyde Drexler, but Oscar Robertson, John Stockton, Mark Jackson. I could just keep going on. Rick Smits, Antonio Davis. Remember he jumped in the crowd because somebody was messing with his wife and about to put them hands on him. Dale Davis, Deadlift Shrimp, Gary Payton, one of my favorites. Sean Kemp. You could just keep going on. Sam Perkins, James Worthy. Like, it shouldn't be fair. And basketball was my number one love. It shouldn't be fair for guys to come and talk about GOATs that don't go back and know the history about basketball. It's not fair. You don't know the biggest what if story. People say Derrick Rose. Fuck no. It had to be Grant Hill. And people that remember Grant Hill, remember what it was. Alonzo Mourning, the Patrick Ewings, the John Starks, the Chris Dudley sorry asses. Like you got people that don't even know the guys that I'm speaking of. They don't even know Matt Geiger. You could just keep going on and on. You know what I'm saying? Strodemouse Swift, Griffin up there, and when he got drafted, like I could just keep going on and on. You know, but like I said before, people got an opinion, but can't hang with me in a debate. Basketball, like, can't nobody fuck with me in no basketball. It got to be a real old dude in his late 40s, 50s, 60s. But most of them don't know nothing about basketball. You talk to them niggas don't know nothing about who's talking about the Bernard Kings of the world. That's another great what if story. What if he didn't get injured? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it all day, but I'll address it tomorrow. But when you're talking about the GOAT debate, rings, accolades, skill, all that way in. And if you put that all in there and ability on the floor, man, it's hard to put that nigga like in the top 8 if we saying all that he lost 6 finals. People want to ignore that. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 finals. With moving around and needing help. If Kyrie and Kevin Love wasn't going to be on the Cavs, he wasn't going back. Let's speak facts. People say, well, he with the 07 Cavs, that whole Eastern Conference was trash. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. So I'm trying to hear that he took them. Nigga, that East was terrible. And people say, oh, he lost he didn't win a game. He didn't win a game. That's the facts. So you talking about, oh, just because he got championships is not the end all be all. You got championships, the accolades, the defensive players, the scoring titles, all that. You got all of that. Then you got the skills, the impact, the viewership. All of that weighs in. And when you talk about that, Hakeem Olajuwon and Isaiah Thomas, well, Hakeem Olajuwon was special because he did not win it. He won his first championship without another All-Star. And then the next year, I think he had that year I spoke on. So tell me when LeBron won a championship without another All-Star. You can't. And Isaiah Thomas, really, he was the first to win a championship without a dominant big man that I can remember. He beat Magic, Bird in an era where they didn't want them to win. He didn't have the NBA pushing him like Jordan, like LeBron. So that's why those them two players stick out to me. And when I think about it, they got to be in my top 10. Isaiah was better than Magic, but nobody wants to talk about it because he's not a meteor darling. Magic had Kareem his whole career. And with the system behind Magic. You can tell Magic, I said he one of my favorite players. He had the system behind Magic. The NBA was pushing Magic and Bird because they did great numbers in NCAA finals when he was at Michigan State and Bird was at Indiana State. That's a fact. So when they did them numbers, the reason the NBA finals not on tape delay no more is because of Magic and Bird. So they wanted them to go every year. The Pistons was the one that broke that shit up. The Pistons, Jordan get credit for beating Magic and Bird. That was Isaiah. Isaiah didn't have another top 50 player. They did the greatest top 50 player. Isaiah was there by himself. Love Joe Dumars. Love Rick Mahorn. Love Lambeer. Love, before they traded Adrian Dantley and they got Mark Aguirre. Love him. And Dennis Rodman. But he was the only top 50 player up there. So it is what it is, man. I'm going to break it down today. you know, we got these young niggas who don't know nothing about basketball. So I'm going to break it down for them. Make sure you guys check in when I put the invite up. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also got a Facebook group if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel, Cash App, CJ Good 313. Keep sharing the videos with PayPal link in the description. Check out the NBA Talk playlist for more videos like this. Appreciate the love and support. One time for the one time we go.